Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review, brought to you by UnifiedWrestling.com. Every wrestler, all belts, one ring. I'm your host, the Invincible E, Vincent. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, we had kind of an interesting show. CM Punk and John Laurinaitis had it out at the very beginning. What wound up coming out of that between... basically, John Laurinaitis initially came out under CM Punk's intro music. Came out with a CM Punk shirt, did his entire introduction where he touches the ground, checks the time. Don't think he shouted it's clobbering time, but came out to the ring in Chicago to the jeers and boos of the entire crowd. Calls himself Mr. Unpredictability. At this point, CM Punk comes out and pretty much lets him know, it's like, are you trying to antagonize me? What's really going on, John Laurinaitis? What comes out of this whole interchange is John Laurinaitis setting up a gauntlet match for CM Punk. Basically, CM Punk has to go against Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry. Now, CM Punk works in a stipulation that if he wins this gauntlet match, he gets to go toe-to-toe with the legend John E. Ace himself. John Laurinaitis obliges him and says, okay, fine, they can go ahead and have a match if he gets past the other three wrestlers. Now, the show goes ahead and continues. The first match is Cody Rhodes versus Booker T. Good match. Booker T is still in shape for a wrestler, which is pretty good considering I believe he's in his 50s. But he's in good enough shape to wrestle from time to time. But I'm pretty sure he's going to feel this match tomorrow morning. Now, Booker T actually gets the win over Cody Rhodes in this match with the scissors kick. He gets the cover, does a spinneroonie. And this should be vindication for this tiny sort of little dispute that's been going on between these two over the past month or so. So he basically got his win. He didn't get it at TLC, but he got it here, so should be happy. Moving on, later in the show, John Cena calls out Kane. He says he basically wants to go ahead and get into it about the 2 times he's been assaulted by Kane. Since Kane returned. Now, instead of Kane coming out, who shows up but The Miz? The Miz comes out, goes on about how he should be the one who's getting all the attention, Plucky Duck style, how he should be the star. He beat John Cena in WrestleMania, and he doesn't want to finish out 2012, or 2011 rather, with people thinking that he couldn't beat John Cena without The Rock's help. So he basically talks himself into a match right here, right now. John Cena and The Miz get into it. John Cena is basically pushing The Miz all over the place. And The Miz finally rolls out of the ring and says, never mind, I don't want to have this match now. This culminates with, The Miz basically trying to talk himself back out of the building. As he does this, who shows up but R-Truth. Comes through the crowd, and lays into The Miz. Now, R-Truth and The Miz were partnered up for a good chunk of the last half of the year, but at this point, because The Miz betrayed him a while ago, basically gave him a skull-crushing finale, at this point, R-Truth looks like he wants to get some payback for that. Now, after he beats down The Miz for a little bit, he goes ahead and tells him that he doesn't want his revenge to just be over. He's going to keep showing up Monday night after Monday night after Monday night. Basically giving The Miz pretty much what he deserves or what he wants to give him. And he finishes off by using his patented secret weapon, which is a half-full plastic bottle of water. Bashes The Miz across the skull. Miz collapses and starts shaking. And then the show continues. Now, after this, let's see. We had the Big Show, who had to get into it with David Otunga. Earlier in the show, Big Show was called on the carpet for the punch that he delivered to David Otunga on SmackDown last week. Now, as this exchange between the Big Show, John Laurinaitis, and David Otunga went on, Big Show made the comment that he could beat David Otunga with one arm tied behind his back. John Laurinaitis says, hey, this gives me an idea. Sets up a match so that the Big Show has to go toe-to-toe with David Otunga with one arm tied behind his back. This match goes on where Big Show, even though his right arm, the WMD, is tied behind his back, he's still pushing David Otunga all over the place in this match. Now, about halfway through this match, Mark Henry comes out and basically provokes the DQ. Mark Henry does knock the Big Show down as his right arm is actually already coming loose from the ropes. But after that, as he gets the ropes off of himself, Mark Henry makes his exit, and David Otunga is left to face Big Show with both hands that are now untied. Big Show gives David Otunga the choke slam from hell. He picks him up, holds him there for a good couple of seconds, and then just drops the hammer on him right through the mat. And then the show continued. After this, we had the Gauntlet match with CM Punk versus Jack Swagger to begin with. CM Punk and Jack Swagger go back and forth. CM Punk manages to get the win with a kick to the head, and right away, Dolph Ziggler's music comes in. Dolph comes in, but as CM Punk is waiting for Dolph Ziggler to come in, he gets chop blocked from the back by Jack Swagger, and Jack Swagger also starts to beat on the left knee that's just been injured with the chop block, and finally Dolph Ziggler comes in, and during this match between Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk, Jack Swagger interferes, Vicky Guerrero interferes, and finally, as CM Punk is getting ready to deliver the GTS to Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero reaches in from the outside and grabs his foot so he can't get his knee up, and the match continues. But John Laurinaitis comes out and says, tells the ref that I know you can't see everything, but I saw what Vicky Guerrero did, and kicks Vicky Guerrero and Jack Swagger out of the ring area, like he's doing CM Punk a favor. Meanwhile, while he's distracting the ref, CM Punk has got Ziggler covered for a good 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 count, and basically interrupts the match. And then he focuses on CM Punk and tries to get CM Punk's attention. While he's getting CM Punk's attention, Ziggler does what Ziggler does best. He drops the zigzag on CM Punk, and it gets the pin and wins the match. And so now Ziggler is set up for a shot at the WWE title, and it's supposed to take place next week. So good on Ziggler. Apparently he dropped the U.S. title just in the nick of time. Now let's see. Following that, we had Kane come out and address what he's been doing to John Cena. He comes out and tells John Cena that his new credo, rise above hate, is a big fat lie. Everybody hates. He says everybody hates. People hate their bosses, their spouses, and he needs to go ahead and embrace his hatred of whatever it is, the fact that the crowd is screaming at him. Essentially, sort of says in different words what Roddy Piper says, that he's got to get his head right about how he feels about the crowd turning on him, and he then says that he's going to help him get on his path to enlightenment, and then leads a rousing chorus of Cena sucks. Now there were some people that were screaming "Let's go Cena" in the crowd. To be fair, it was a bit of a mishmash. It wasn't quite 100%, but the point was still made, and the show ended with John Cena looking down, sort of defeated. So we'll see where this goes. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be a full heel turn, but probably going to make him seem like more of a sympathetic character going forward. We'll see what happens. But that's all we had for Raw this evening. Now, make sure that you join Caesar Scorpio this week on Friday for This Week in Wrestling. And for myself, for Monday Night Raw Review, and for UnifiedWrestling.com, this is the Invincible E, Vincent. Take care. Have a good rest of the week.